Hello friends, today we will discuss about generation of impulse voltage and especially about the March circuit. Now first of all we will see the what is impulse voltage. So here in this figure we have given impulse voltage waveform. To understand the impulse voltage better, let's take a look at the impulse voltage waveform. In the below image, a single peak of high voltage impulse waveform is shown. As you can see, the wave is getting to its maximum 100% peak within 2 microseconds. Here is the peak, and here we can see it is 2 microseconds. So this is very fast, but the high voltage is losing its strength with a span of 40 microsecond almost. Here we can see this is a 40 microsecond TS3. Therefore the pulse has a very short or fast rise time, whereas a very slow or long fall time. So here is the rise time, and in this way this is fall time. The duration of the pulse is called the wave tail. Which is defined by the difference between third time stamp TS3 and TS0. It means here we can see this is TS0 and here we can see TS3. So time duration between these two time interval is called wave tail. Single stage impulse generator. Any impulse generator circuit needs at least one large capacitor that is charged to an appropriate voltage level and then discharged by a load. In this circuit, the CS is charging capacitor. Here we can see CS. This is a high voltage capacitor, typically more than a 2 kilovolt rating, but it is not up to 2 kilovolt. It depends on the desired output voltage. The capacitor CB is the load capacitance that will discharge the charging capacitor, and two resistors RD and RE. This one is RD and this one is RE. These two resistors will control the wave shape. The capacitor is charged until the capacitor's charged value is enough to cross the spark gap. Here we can see the spark gap. An electrical impulse generated across the spark gap and high voltage gets transferred from the left electrode terminal to the right electrode terminal of the spark gap, and thus making it a connected circuit. It means whenever the spark gap is conduct, it will consider as a short circuit. The response time of the circuit can be controlled by varying the distance between two electrodes. The output impulse voltage calculation can be done by calculating the output voltage waveform with this equation. Alpha and beta are the variables. Disadvantages of single stage impulse generator. The major disadvantage of a single stage impulse generator circuit is the physical size. Depending on the high voltage rating, the compounds get bigger in size. Also, high impulse voltage generator requires a high DC voltage. Therefore, for a single stage impulse voltage generator circuit, it gets quite difficult to get optimum efficiency even after using large DC power supplies. The spheres that are used for the gapped connection also required very large in size. The corona that is gets discharged by the impulse voltage generation is very difficult to suppress and reshape. The electrode life gets shortened and requires replacement after a few cycles of operation. So these are the disadvantages of single stage impulse generator. Now question is, what is the solution? The solution is multi-stage impulse generator, and it is popularly known as Marx generator because Erwin Otto Marx provided a multi-stage impulse generator circuit in 1924. This circuit is specially used to generate high impulse voltage from a low voltage power source. The circuit of multiplexed impulse generator, or commonly called as Marx circuit, can be seen in the below image. This circuit uses 4 capacitors. There can be n number of capacitors, but in our case we have taken 4 capacitors that are charged by a high voltage source in parallel charging condition by the charge resistors R1 to R8. So in this figure we can see this one is C1, C2, C3 and C4 are capacitors, and this 8 resistors, and G1 to G4, it means this is G1, G2, G3, these are the spark gaps. During the discharge condition, the spark gap, which was an open circuit during the charging state, acts as a switch and connects a series path through the capacitor bank and generates a very high impulse voltage across the load. The voltage of first capacitor needs to be exceeded sufficiently to break down the spark gap and activate the Marx generator circuit. Here in the purple line we have given the how the Marx circuit is working. So by triggering the spark gaps, we can connect all the capacitors in series, and then we get the output voltage is a multiple of the this capacitor voltages. When this occurs, the first spark gap connects two capacitors C1 and C2. Here we can see how this spark gap connects these two capacitors this way. So when the spark gap 1 is triggered, capacitor C1 and C2 comes into picture and the output voltage will be doubled. Subsequently, the third spark gap automatically breaks down because the voltage across the third spark gap is high enough and it starts to add the third capacitor C3 voltage into the stack, and this goes on up to the last capacitor. Finally, when the last and final spark gap is reached, the voltage is large enough to break the last spark gap across the load, which has a larger gap between the spark plugs. The final output voltage across the final gap will be N into Vc, where N is the number of capacitors and Vc is the capacitor charge voltage. But this is true in ideal circuits. In real scenarios, the output voltage of the Marx impulse generator circuit will be much lower than the actual desired value because so many losses takes place in this circuit. Capacitor discharging techniques in Marx generator. There are some techniques through which we can charging and discharging the capacitors. One is the pulsing additional trigger electrode. Pulsing an additional trigger electrode is an effective way to intentionally trigger the Marx generator during fully charged condition or in a special case. The additional trigger electrode is called as trigatron. There are different shapes and sizes trigatron available with different specifications. Next method is ionizing the air in the gap. Ionized air is an effective path that is beneficial to conduct the spark gap. The ionization is done by using a pulsed laser. And next method is reducing the air pressure inside the gap. The reduction of air pressure is also effective if the spark gap is designed inside a chamber. So these are the capacitor discharging techniques. Now advantages of the Marx generator. Disadvantages of the Marx generator. Long charge time. Marx generator uses resistors to charge the capacitor. Thus the charge time gets higher. The capacitor that is closer to the power supply gets charged faster than the others. So this is the disadvantage. Next one is loss of efficiency. Due to the same reason as previously described, as the current flows through the resistors, the efficiency of the Marx generator circuit is low. Why? When the current flows through the resistor, I square R loss takes place. When the losses are increases, obviously the efficiency of the system is decreases. Now next disadvantage is the short lifespan of the spark gap. The repetitive cycle of discharge through the spark gap shortens the lifetime of the electrodes of a spark gap that needs to be replaced from time to time. So it is a disadvantage. Next one is the repetition time of charge and discharge cycle. Due to the high current time, the repetition time of the impulse generator is very slow. This is another major drawback of the Marx generator circuit. Now, applications of impulse generator circuit. The major application of the impulse generator circuit is to test high voltage devices. For example, lightning arrestor, fuses, TVS diodes, different types of surge protectors, power transformers, surge diodes, etc. are tested using the impulse voltage generator. The Marx generator is used for the simulation purposes of lightning effects on power line gear and in aviation industries. It is also used in X-ray and Z machines. Insulation testing of electronic devices are also tested using impulse generator circuits. So these are the applications of the impulse generator circuit. Thank you.